Ladies and gentlemen, from cold central Pennsylvania, it's the Grand Slam with your boy Mikey Franks. And back in studio today, it's your fantasy baseball champion. Mark Hickson is back today, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Mark, what's going on? We missed you on our last podcast. You were I did that podcast from home, and you weren't available. So Mark has rejoined us, and he actually has his top 10 catchers that I gave you my top 10 on the last podcast, and then we're going to move on to our top 10 first basemen, and then we're going to move on to some trade talk. Huge trade today between the Pirates and the Astros, and then we'll move in.
Finally, something.
Yeah, finally, something. The hot stove was at about 180 degrees. It got cranked up to about 300 within the last hour. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Gerrit Cole to the Houston Astros trade, what we both think about it. If Mark wants to talk about it, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And
I haven't gathered my thoughts about it yet.
So yeah, he hasn't gathered his thoughts. I have. And you guys will probably be surprised at what I think. So let's get right into it. Mark, why don't you go ahead and give us your top 10 catchers for the 2018 fantasy season?
Yeah. First, I'd like to say that I thought it was funny how you asked how I was and then just kept talking and didn't even give me a chance to speak. But you know what? I don't even care to tell anybody how I'm doing. So what? No, I'm just kidding. Boring. My life is boring.
It is. It's pretty boring. This is what we do. We do podcasts.
It's the highlight of my year.
Really is the highlight of our week when we get to do the podcast, guys. This is our life.
All right. So for my top 10 catchers, I'm going to go for reverse order. Numbers 10, ranks 10 through 5. I don't care. I just want to get one of these guys. They're not great. Some of them have more upside. Some of them are more safe. But I tend to not reach for catcher. I tend to usually get one of these following 5 dudes. So. Number 10, Yadier Molina. He's safe, not exciting. He'll get you 80 runs, 80 RBIs, 15 homers or something, 280 average. You know what to expect from him after all these years. Lucroy, he could be really good, or he could just be your typical crappy catcher. What do you think? Who is the real Jonathan Lucroy?
Oh, I don't know. He's been really
bad for 2 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, the last 2 years he's been really, really bad. And the funny part is he's been playing in hitters' ballparks the last 2 years.
Right. It's not like he went from Milwaukee to a horrible
Yeah, it's kind of funny how he was hitting in Milwaukee, but then he went to Texas, couldn't hit. Went to Colorado, couldn't hit. So, and I had him on my list, and he was. I think I had number 7 or 8 on my list, and it really depends on where he goes. If he comes back and has another great year, then obviously he's a top 5 catcher. But
yeah. Number 8, Yasmani Grandal.
I love
him.
Solid.
He's solid. You love him because he's a solid catcher. I mean, if he was any other position, he'd be But,
right, but I don't know.
All right, we got JT Realmuto at number 7. Evan Gattis, the talent is there. The ceiling is high. The playing time is questionable.
Right there, yeah. That's the reason I had him, I think, at number 9 because of the playing time.
Yeah, but there's reports that they're going to be playing him at DH most of the year. So, he could rack up 500 at-bats. Who knows? Number 5 for me is Kyle Schwarber. I can't. Oh, first off, I believe he's catcher eligible in Yahoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
They're really friendly
to check
with that.
on it. Yeah,
it's like, you played catcher in Little League. You're catcher eligible.
Right. He didn't play catcher at all last year.
No, he didn't.
Of course, he got hurt.
Right. So he may or may not be in. But if he is, he's worth drafting. If he's just an outfielder, I'm ignoring. I mean, I might take a late round flyer on him, but.
And he had a bad year, really. I mean,
no kidding.
He got sent down to the minors. That's another reason why I didn't put him in my top 10. I actually had him 2 years ago when he came up, and
he's a beast.
He was a beast, right? But then last year he just fell off the map because he had a horrible year, got sent down to the minors, and that's why I didn't put him in my top 10. Obviously, we know Contreras will be starting there catcher in Chicago.
All right, so the top 4. Interestingly enough, I have Buster Posey at 4 because.
Yeah.
The fantasy baseball landscape has changed. I think if you're just hitting 10, 12 home runs and not stealing bases, he'll give you a plus average, but
I actually think he'll have a better year this year. The average will always be there. He's Buster Posey.
Absolutely.
But I think, and I alluded to this in my podcast a couple of days ago. I think the addition of Evan Longoria there will help him out and have a little bit better power numbers. Sure. So I kept Buster Posey at number 1, where he's been for the last couple of years as a catcher. So.
Yeah. So I have him as 4. So there's a little difference there. But I mean, I won't end up getting him. It's clear. Yeah. I've never actually had Posey on any of my teams in the 7 or 8 years.
I don't think I ever had him either.
Sal Perez at 3, steady Freddy.
Yep.
2, I got Wilson Contreras, and 1, do I even have to say it?
Yeah.
It's Gary Sanchez.
And I alluded to the fact when I did my podcast a couple days ago, the only thing keeping Sanchez from my number 1 spot was the injuries.
Okay.
If he can stay healthy, I mean, he's hands down the number 1 catcher out there because like I said, who's not going to hit in that lineup?
So I'm not more worried about the injuries. I'm more worried, kind of on a lower level, what I am with the same worry I have with Judge. There's a chance this guy could hit 208.
Yeah.
But, so, what would you rather have from your catcher? I'll say what I think Posey could do compared to Sanchez. What would you rather have? 240 average with 30 bombs and 89 RBIs, or Posey's 317 average with 12 home runs and 73 RBIs?
Well, again, this all depends on what your team consists of. If you have a lot of power guys on your team, then you take Posey because you need the average from him. But if you don't have a lot of power, then you got to take.
But you
Sanchez.
know what? At the time you're drafting these guys, you're not going to know what your team is.
You're not going to know you're going. But again, I don't see any of these guys going in the first round. So when you're drafting your team, when I do a draft, I know what I'm going for. A lot of times I may go for power, and I'll take guys who don't hit for high average, but I'll get power. I'll get power and RBIs for them. Yeah. Or the other way. It's kind of tough. So I mean, it's close. So it's top 4 guy. I mean, if you get any one of those top 4 guys, you're getting a good catcher.
So I can see Sal Perez slipping because he's boring.
Yeah.
And I might scoop him up in like the mid rounds.
Yeah.
If he's available, but just for the sake of not having a crap.
Your wild card in this is Kyle Schwarber. He's catcher eligible. If he comes back, and Corey Smith just posted. Actually, I think Jake.
He's ripped now. Isn't
he? Jake may posted the first thing Corey did, but
someone's got a body as good as yours.
Yeah. He's got a body. Yeah, I'm sexy, guys. I'm just telling you, I am the most overweight guy that probably works here. So.
No, not even close.
Anyway. No. Yeah, there's some bigger guys.
All right, we got to move on to first baseman. Catcher's way too boring.
Yes, we got to move on to first baseman. So, do you want to give your list first? We'll just go down from 10 to 1, but we'll both get number 10, and then we'll go.
First off, do you have Ryan Zimmerman in your list?
I do not.
Okay, he's my honorable mention.
Okay.
I just could not fit him in. He's good again, guys. He's good. He had 2 years off.
Yeah,
apparently was playing through injuries, and but he's good. He's good, and he's a little boring, but he's good, and so he deserves to be on this list. But didn't quite make my top 10. All right.
Okay.
So, no, don't peek.
Okay. No problem. Well, I mean, the lists are done now. It's not like
okay.
I'm not going to change my list now.
Right. All right.
It doesn't matter. I can peek all I want. Okay. So I'll go first. My number 10, since you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but I think he's going to have a better year than he had last year, and he's just starting. My number 10 first baseman is Josh Bell.
Ooh, interesting. I can't agree with that. When I was looking at the first base list, I didn't even see his name. Like, not because it wasn't ranked up there, but I just raised over it. I mean,
yeah, he was number. I think he was between 15 and 20 on the list. But I have a feeling that this is going to be the guys that I think he'll step up. And if he's not the top player in the Pirates, he'll be number 2. Marte's still there, and all it depends on post-Ped Marte and see what he does. But he had 27 or 28 home runs, and he almost hit 100 RBIs, didn't he?
Which would have been impressive if it wasn't like everybody's hitting home runs these days and stuff.
Right. But what they expected from him was between 15 to 25 home runs
and a high average,
and a little bit better, about 280 average. I think they were expecting.
You're right. As a Pirates fan, which we both are,
and we both are. That's what we were expecting. But we got an almost 30 homer guy with almost 100 RBIs. I think his average was in the 260s by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Most of the year, it was between the 220s and 240s. But he got a little bit hot and got raised up there.
There's something about him when he hits too. You can tell he's beyond his years as a hitter. But I just don't know if he can put it all together this year.
I don't know. I think he's really close, and he does it from both sides. Switch hitter. Most guys, when they're a switch hitter, they're powerful from one side, but they more of an average hitter from another side. Yeah. This guy, he has power from both sides, and I love that.
All right, my number 10 is Rhys Hoskins. Is he even in your list?
Yes,
he is. Okay, love this guy. Kind of the same thing. These types of players hurt me as a Pirates fan. It's like, why can't we have these guys?
Yeah,
he's a beast.
He is. He came up, and
I like a lot of Phillies players. I'm gonna have a lot of them on my team this year.
Yeah, Phillies really non-fantasy wise, they're a dark horse team. Possibly a wild card. They're not gonna beat the Nationals. They're not there yet. But this is a team that could surprise some people and be really. They have a good lineup.
And I guess the reasoning for Rhys Hoskins is that he came out for like a quarter of a season.
Yeah, he was destroying the ball.
Yeah, missed out on him last year.
Yeah,
somehow I won. I don't know how I won, man. I missed out on a lot of good.
Yeah, you still won. Not like a
barely though. All right. Anyway, number 9.
I go first this time. Number 9. You want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Edwin Encarnacion.
Oh wow. Okay.
My recommendation. I'm just throwing it all out there. I'm not gonna have any advantage because anybody listening to this knows my tricks. Let somebody else draft Edwin. Trade for him halfway through the season when he's doing crap, because he always gets it together at the end. I mean, he was part of that huge controversial deal in our league, and what did he end up with? 30-some bombs, 105 RBIs or whatever. He always gets his 100 RBIs. Always. He will be frustrating, though. That's why I have him on number 9. He might have the same type of production as the guys in the upper half of my top 10 list, but he goes through these streaks where he sucks, and then he gets massively hot. And I'd rather have guys that are just more consistent. Okay, what's your number 9?
All right, number 9 is where I got Rhys Hoskins.
Okay. Fair enough. We talked about him enough. He's good. He's really good.
Really good. I think he's going to be
considerable downside because he's young and new.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Right. Yeah, he could go on a sophomore slump and all of a sudden only hit like 10 bombs. Mm-hmm. Then we'll all sit here with pie on our face.
All right.
All right, number 8. I guess I'll go first this time. I have Eric Hosmer.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. My guy is technically first base eligible. I don't know if you knew that or not. But Daniel Murphy, Mr. Westboro Baptist Church himself. This guy I heard him interviewed like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. He's just swinging harder.
Yeah,
he's crushing the ball.
Yeah, I saw the reason he's crushing the ball more is he moved closer to the plate. He's doing Anthony Rizzo.
Right.
And he moved closer to the plate, and he's hitting more bombs. I didn't put him in my top 10 for first baseman. He'll obviously be there for second baseman.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably why I didn't have him listed. I went first, but I think my list more consists of guys who only play first base.
Sure.
So that
position eligibility could be nice, especially in our type of league with daily roster moves.
Yeah, you might have 2 good second basemen in there, and then you can put Daniel Murphy at first base. So that's right. He's right, guys. That's why I invited him.
All right, number 7 for me is Jose Abreu, Mr. Consistent. Mm-hmm. You know what you're gonna get. He's not exciting. He's one of the guys who'd be like, halfway through the season, you might be like, is this guy ever gonna do anything? And then you look, he's ranked number 28.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's right, he's good.
Yeah.
He's just not sexy.
Yeah, right, exactly. You didn't even notice him last year, but he was quietly putting up the numbers.
Yep.
So at number 7.
Oh wait, one more really bad thing about Jose Abreu.
Yeah.
I can't stand this. I won't watch his highlights. I cannot stand. You can put it on the board. Yes. I hate that. I hate it.
I love it, guys. I love it,
dude. Greg Brown, one of my favorite announcers. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I'm a Pirates fan.
Right.
Ever since he started doing "Clear the deck, cannonball coming" for every frickin' home run, starting to get old, man. I wish he'd just ad-lib it. Having a saying annoys me. All right, go ahead.
All right, number 7. Guys, we finally agree. Jose Abreu. I got him at number 7.
There we go.
So,